Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something that can truly transform your life: how to destroy weakness and build mental strength. This isn't just about pushing through tough moments or flexing your willpower like it's a muscle. It's about rewiring your mind, reshaping your habits, and creating a version of yourself that's unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to obliterate the things holding you back and cultivate a mindset that thrives under pressure. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's not a gift handed out to a lucky few. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and mastered. But before we can build it, we need to understand what weakness really is. Weakness isn't just physical. It's not about how much you can lift or how fast you can run. It's the voice in your head that says you're not good enough. It's the hesitation that stops you from taking action. It's the habit of giving up when things get hard. Weakness lives in your thoughts, your choices, and the stories you tell yourself about who you are. To destroy it, we have to confront it head-on, without excuses or denial. The first step is recognizing where weakness shows up in your life. Think about the moments when you feel stuck. Maybe it's when you're faced with a big decision, and you freeze because you're scared of making the wrong choice. Or maybe it's when you start a new project, but you abandon it the second it feels overwhelming. These are signs of mental fragility, and they're not permanent. They're patterns, and patterns can be broken. Start by observing yourself. Pay attention to the situations that make you shrink. What triggers that feeling of doubt or avoidance? Write it down. Awareness is the foundation of change. You can't fix what you don't see. Once you've identified your weak spots, it's time to challenge the stories you've been telling yourself. Your mind is a storyteller, and it's not always honest. If you've spent years thinking, "I'm not disciplined," or "I always fail under pressure," those thoughts become your reality. They're not facts, they're beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. Start questioning them. Ask yourself, is it true that I always fail? Or have I just focused on my losses and ignored my wins? Well, look for evidence that contradicts your negative story. Maybe you finished a tough project at work, even if it wasn't perfect. Maybe you showed up for a workout when you didn't feel like it. Those are victories. Stack them up in your mind. Rewrite the narrative. Changing your story isn't just about positive thinking. It's about grounding yourself in reality. If you're telling yourself you're weak, you're ignoring the resilience you've already shown. Life isn't easy. You've made it this far, which means you've overcome something: heartbreak, failure, fear, loss. You're not starting from zero. You have a foundation of strength, even if you don't see it yet. The goal is to build on that foundation, brick by brick. Every time you challenge a negative thought, you're laying a new brick. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you're making that foundation stronger. Now let's talk about discomfort. If you want to destroy weakness, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Mental strength isn't built in your comfort zone. It's forged in the moments when you're tired, scared, or uncertain, and you push forward anyway. Think about the last time you avoided something because it felt too hard. Maybe it was a conversation you didn't want to have, or a goal you didn't pursue because the path looked daunting. That avoidance is weakness in action. The antidote? Lean into the discomfort. Start small. If you're scared of public speaking, don't sign up for a TED Talk tomorrow. Practice speaking in front of one person, then 5, then 10. Each step desensitizes you to the fear and proves you're capable of more than you thought. Discomfort is a teacher. It shows you where your limits are, and it gives you the chance to push past them. The key is to approach it deliberately. Don't wait for life to force you into tough situations. Seek them out. This could mean waking up an hour earlier to work on a side hustle, even when you're exhausted. It could mean signing up for a challenging course that stretches your skills. It could mean having that hard conversation you've been putting off. Each time you choose discomfort, you're training your brain to handle stress better. You're teaching yourself that you don't crumble when things get tough. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes manageable. Let's talk about failure, because it's one of the biggest reasons people stay weak. The fear of failing stops us from trying. It keeps us playing small, sticking to what's safe and familiar. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every person you admire, every athlete, entrepreneur, artist, has failed more times than you can count. What sets them apart is how they respond to it. Weakness is letting failure define you. Strength is using it as fuel. When you fail, don't run from it. Study it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I learn? How can I do better next time? Failure is data, and data helps you grow. To build mental strength, you need to reframe how you see failure. It's not a verdict on your worth, it's a stepping stone. Think about a time you failed and felt crushed. Maybe you bombed a job interview or flunked an exam. In the moment, it felt like the end of the world. But looking back, did it kill you? No, you're still here. You learned something, even if it was just how to handle disappointment. That's growth. The more you fail, the less power it has over you. You start to see it as feedback, not a death sentence. So take risks, apply for that job, start that business, ask that person out. The worst that can happen is you learn something new. Another key to destroying weakness is mastering your emotions. Emotions are powerful, but they're not always rational. They can trick you into thinking you're doomed when you're actually fine. Mental strength doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel fear, anger, or sadness. It means acknowledging them without letting them control you. Let's say you're anxious about a big presentation. Your heart's racing, your palms are sweaty, and your brain is screaming, "You're going to mess this up." Weakness is letting that anxiety stop you. Strength is noticing it, taking a deep breath, and doing the presentation anyway. One way to manage emotions is through something called cognitive diffusion. It's a fancy term, but it's simple. When you're caught in a spiral of negative thoughts, step back and observe them, like they're clouds passing in the sky. Instead of thinking, "I'm a failure," say to yourself, "I'm having the thought that I'm a failure." It sounds small, but it creates distance between you and the emotion. That distance gives you room to choose your response. You can't control every feeling, but you can control what you do with it. Practice this when you're stressed or upset. Name the emotion, observe it, and then decide what action aligns with your goals, not your fear. Physical health is another piece of the puzzle. Your mind and body are connected. If you're neglecting your body, your mental strength will suffer. Think about how you feel after a night of no sleep or a week of eating junk food. Your focus is shot, your mood is low, and your willpower is non-existent. Now compare that to how you feel after a good workout or a healthy meal. You're sharper, more energized, more resilient. To build mental strength, prioritize the basics: sleep, nutrition, exercise. You don't need to be a fitness model or a health nut. Just aim for consistency. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Eat more whole foods than processed ones. Move your body daily, even if it's just a walk. Exercise, in particular, is a mental strength superpower. It's not just about getting stronger or looking better. It's about discipline. When you commit to a workout routine, you're practicing showing up, even when you don't feel like it. You're proving to yourself that you can stick to a plan. Plus, exercise releases endorphins, which boost your mood and reduce stress. It's a natural antidote to anxiety and self-doubt. If you're new to exercise, start small. 10 minutes of bodyweight exercises at home is enough to build momentum. The key is to make it a habit. Over time, that discipline spills over into other areas of your life. Let's talk about habits, because they're the backbone of mental strength. Weakness thrives on autopilot. It's the mindless scrolling, the procrastination, the "I'll do it tomorrow" mentality. Strength is built through intentional habits. Your habits shape who you become. If you want to be mentally strong, design your day around habits that reinforce resilience. Start with a morning routine. It doesn't have to be complicated. 5 minutes of journaling, a quick stretch, and a clear intention for the day can set the tone. The point is to start your day with purpose, not chaos. One powerful habit is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review what went well and what didn't. Ask yourself, did I face any challenges today? How did I handle them? What could I do better tomorrow? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning. Reflection helps you spot patterns, both the ones that serve you and the ones that don't. Maybe you notice you waste hours on your phone when you're stressed. That's a cue to replace that habit with something better, like reading or meditating. Small changes compound. A 1% improvement every day adds up to massive growth over time. Another habit to build is gratitude. It sounds cheesy, but it's backed by science. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on what's going right, which counteracts the negativity bias that fuels weakness. When you're constantly focused on what's wrong, your flaws, your problems, your bad luck, you feel powerless. Gratitude flips the script. It reminds you that you have agency, that there's good in your life, even when things are tough. Try this. Every night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a good cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the fact that you made it through a hard day. Over time, this shifts your mindset from victim to victor. Let's talk about discipline, because mental strength doesn't exist without it. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the difference between dreaming about a strong mind and actually building one. The problem is, most people think discipline is about willpower, and willpower is finite. You can't rely on it alone. Instead, make discipline easier by removing friction. If you want to read more, keep a book on your nightstand, not buried in a drawer. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. Set up your environment to support your goals, so you don't have to fight yourself every step of the way. Discipline also means saying no. Weakness creeps in when you overcommit, when you say yes to things that drain your energy or distract you from your priorities. Mentally strong people protect their time and focus. They know that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Practice setting boundaries. If a friend asks you to hang out when you need to work on a project, politely decline. If your inbox is overflowing with non-urgent emails, let them wait. Guard your attention like it's gold, because it is. The more you say no to distractions, the more space you create for growth. Another trap that fuels weakness is comparison. In the age of social media, it's easy to look at someone else's highlight reel and feel like you're falling behind. That person's perfect gym selfies, their thriving career, their picture-perfect family. It can make you feel small. But comparison is a thief. It robs you of perspective and energy. The truth is, you don't know their struggles. You don't see the doubts, the failures, the late-night worries. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes to their curated facade. To destroy weakness, focus on your own path. Measure your progress against yourself, not others. One way to break the comparison habit is to limit your exposure to triggers. If scrolling through Instagram makes you feel inadequate, cut back. Unfollow accounts that spark envy or self-doubt. Replace that time with something that builds you up. Reading, learning, creating. Another strategy is to practice self-compassion. When you catch yourself comparing, pause and remind yourself that you're doing your best. Everyone's journey is different. Your struggles don't make you less worthy. They make you human. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend who's struggling. It's not weakness to be imperfect. It's weakness to let imperfection stop you. Let's talk about resilience, because mental strength is ultimately about bouncing back. Life will knock you down. You'll face rejection, loss, betrayal, failure. Weakness is staying down, letting those moments define you. Strength is getting back up, even when it hurts. Resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being flexible, like a tree that bends in a storm but doesn't snap. To build resilience, practice self-care, but not the fluffy kind. Real self-care is doing the hard stuff. Eating well, sleeping enough, facing your problems head-on. It's about giving yourself the tools to recover from setbacks. One resilience-building tool is mindfulness. Mindfulness is just paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. When you're mindful, you're not ruminating on the past or catastrophizing about the future. You're here now, dealing with what's in front of you. Try this. The next time you're stressed, take a minute to focus on your breath. Notice the air moving in and out. Feel your feet on the ground. This anchors you. It pulls you out of the mental spiral and gives you clarity. Over time, mindfulness strengthens your ability to stay calm under pressure. Another resilience tool is community. No one builds mental strength alone. Weakness thrives in isolation, when you're stuck in your own head, battling doubts and fears. Strength grows when you connect with others. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, friends, mentors, family, who challenge you to be better. Share your struggles with them. Asking for help isn't weak, it's smart. It's recognizing that you don't have all the answers, and you don't need to.
A strong support system reminds you that you're not alone, that you have people in your corner cheering you on. Let's talk about purpose, because mental strength needs direction. Weakness festers when you're aimless, when you're just drifting through life. Strength comes from knowing what you're fighting for. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand. You don't need to save the world. It could be as simple as being a great parent, mastering a skill, or making a difference in your community. What matters is that it lights you up, that it gives you a reason to get out of bed. If you're not sure what your purpose is, start exploring. Try new things. Volunteer, take a class, talk to people who inspire you. Purpose often reveals itself through action. Once you have a sense of purpose, align your actions with it. Weakness is living out of sync with your values, chasing things that don't matter, like status or approval, at the expense of what you truly care about. Strength is making choices that reflect who you want to be. If your purpose is to be a present, loving partner, prioritize time with your spouse over working late every night. If it's to build a business, dedicate your mornings to learning and creating, not binge-watching shows. Every choice either moves you closer to your purpose or pulls you away. Choose wisely. Another way to destroy weakness is to practice patience. Mental strength isn't built overnight. It's a long game. In a world obsessed with instant results, it's easy to get frustrated when progress feels slow. But real change takes time. Think about building a house. You don't slap up 4 walls and call it done. You lay a foundation, frame the structure, add the roof, the wiring, the plumbing. Each step matters, even if it's not glamorous. Your mind is the same. Every small victory, every time you face a fear, stick to a habit, or learn from a mistake, is a brick in your foundation. Trust the process. Another way to destroy weakness is to practice presence. Weakness is living in the past or future, regretting what was, worrying about what might be. Strength is being here, now. Presence sharpens your focus. It quiets the noise. When you're fully present, you're not distracted by fear or doubt. You're engaged with what's in front of you, whether it's a conversation, a task, or a moment of joy. Presence is also where growth happens. You can't change the past and you can't control the future, but you can act now, and every action shapes who you become. To cultivate presence, practice mindfulness daily. It doesn't have to be formal meditation. It can be savoring your coffee, noticing the taste, the warmth, the moment. It can be listening to someone without planning your response. It can be focusing on one task without checking your phone. These moments train your brain to stay anchored. Over time, presence becomes your default. You'll notice you're less reactive, less scattered. A present mind is a powerful mind. It's where strength lives. Let's talk about legacy, because mental strength is about more than just you. Weakness is living for short-term gratification, chasing likes, money, or fleeting highs. Strength is building something that lasts, something that impacts others. Your legacy isn't just what you achieve. It's how you make people feel, the values you pass on, the difference you make. Think about the kind of mark you want to leave. Do you want to be remembered as someone who showed up, who cared, who never gave up? That's a legacy worth building. To create a legacy, live with intention. Make choices that align with your values. If kindness matters to you, practice it daily. If growth is your priority, keep learning and teaching. If connection is your goal, invest in relationships. Your legacy is built through small, consistent actions. It's not about being famous or perfect. It's about being true to who you are and giving more than you take. A strong mind doesn't just lift you up, it lifts others. That's the ultimate measure of strength. As we wrap up, let's reflect on what we've covered. Destroying weakness and building mental strength is a journey. It's about facing your fears, challenging your stories, and choosing growth over comfort. It's about discipline, resilience, courage, and clarity. It's about small daily actions that compound into a life of purpose and impact. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Take one step today, whether it's setting a boundary, facing a fear, or starting a new habit. That step is your declaration of strength. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more videos on living your best life. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you're going to do today to build your mental strength? I can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.